Hello,
Hi,
Kamaladi.
Shivani. How are you?
I am good. Today it's different time for us here. So
Yeah, it's
some
1 hour difference.
yeah.
Yeah. I sent you the thing for the webinar. Just
Mhm.
check if the timing is okay, or should I put the time from India, or should I put the time from uh, USA?
I will check later. I email you later today. I
Mm.
saw I saw the time. I think it should be fine.
Yeah, but I
Mm.
made it for India 8:30 a.m. as you
Yeah.
said. Yeah,
Yeah.
just check it
Because
out.
it will be like 11 here for us. So 11 to 12, it's fine.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay.
And today I wanted to check with you. I remember we have this class long. Do we have the Q&A? Because
No, we don't
um,
have the class long. I managed to finish it in time. So we'll
okay,
have the Q&A. Yeah.
okay, good. Because I have to leave at 12. So
Then you can
like,
leave. You can tell them you have to leave.
okay.
What is the time there for you now?
It's a little past 10.
Okay.
Mm,
So we'll finish in time.
yeah,
Hello, everybody.
大家好。
I should just let you do the interpretation. You got it? And Shanti Pan, I allowed you to record as well. Hi, Maureen. And I should share the screen. Hello, everybody. Today we are talking about putting it all together. It's our last lesson, lesson 36. And this photograph is of Jupiter, Guru. And that's me. You've seen that before. So let us begin with the chanting. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahman Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Brahma Murari Stripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Budhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavo. Om Dadhi Shankatushārabham Kshirodaranavasambhavam Namami Shashinam Somam Shambho Mukatabhushanam. So last time the Purana mantra for Ketu. Om Palasha Pushpa Sankasham Taraka Grahamastakam Rodram Rodratmakam Ghoram Tam Ketum Pranamamyaham. So just to let you know, the next course, the next level will be Rules of Interpretation course, which will start on 5th of March. And the second early bird, so we already had one. The next one is 21st of January. And regarding the recordings, all recordings are available on Google Drive. They are free to access. These links will expire end of December 2023. So do download and save in your own devices. After December, 31st of December, there'll be a charge of $108 to get access to the recordings. So I'm doing another seminar on 6th of January, 9 a.m. PST. It's Planets of 2024 Challenges and Opportunities. I haven't actually organized it, so watch for it in my newsletter. And you need to sign up for my newsletter if you haven't signed up. I hope to have it out soon. So today we are doing putting it all together, and I was telling you this drive that I have. It's a Samsung portable SSD T7 for storage. I think you may be able to get more T9 or something. I have a number of them, and these days there's so much storage, you can get as much as you like. I have 1 TB. So the principles of interpretation, these are principles you use regardless of how advanced you become in Vedic astrology. They are sort of form the basis of Vedic astrology. Initially, you may find them hard to grasp, but as you analyze more charts, the greater confidence you gain in using the principles. The real trick of successful interpretation is studying, analyzing maximum number of charts. The more charts you interpret, the easier it will become. Also, at a foundation level, you analyze the same chart with the knowledge you have. As you get more advanced, then the same chart has more things to tell you. And there is no downside, because what knowledge you have, there's lots of information already you have learned. So you need to start collecting chart data. You can have personal, friends, family, work friends, celebrity. The data I like is Astro Data Bank, astro.com. As far as celebrity data is concerned, you have to think about those people who are appeal to you. And Astro Data Bank has a number of datas international, but if you in your own country, you can see if data is available, and then you start saving those charts, because that becomes like your database. So today we are not going to look at personal charts. We are going to look at the chart of Agatha Christie. She is born on 15 September 1890, 4 a.m., Torquay, UK. Agatha Christie was a very famous, or still is very famous author. Her books, they're all murder mystery books, but her books are translated into many languages, television programs, cinema. Even though she's no longer alive, you see all the time there is a program for her. So we are going to explore her chart. And so the things that you need at a starting point, you need the Rashi chart, you need the Navamsha chart, and the Dashas. So you can see I got her Dashas, just her youth, early age. What are the Dashas that are there? So the first step, and this is the basic information, to you make the Vedic astrology horoscope. To create a correct horoscope, the right birth data is very important. You need to have date, time, and place of birth. You should ask for date, etc. in this format: 5 January, written January 1985, or January 5, 1985, not as 1/5/85. You don't know whether that is January 85 or May 1st, 85. So, and then the time should be 2025 instead of 8:25 p.m. because you are then knowing it's evening time, so the 24-hour clock. Also, you can ask the people how sure you are about your time of birth. And when you're looking at time of birth online, especially Astro Data Bank, it will give you grading for the chart: AA, A, AA, B, C, D, F, dirty data. So it'll give you some kind of verification what type of chart it is or the data it is. So it is important to collect good data of people whose times of birth you know and are accountable. Then use a good software to input data. At this stage, you can have a good Vedic astrology software. Now there are a number of softwares that are there. Vedic, that is Parashara's Light. I don't know their website. You can look it up. But there is this software, J Hora, which is free. So you could think about that. And then phone softwares. Phone softwares are not that advanced, and sometimes they don't get the calculation right. So you should think in investing, but if you find that you don't want to get at this stage, you can get a Jhora. I have not used it. I use Shri Jyoti Star, which is vedicsoftware.com. But it's worth looking at software. So we need to have the Rashi Chakra, birth chart, Navamsha Chakra, 9th divisional chart, Mahadasha, Gochara, and transit. So these are the things you need as a starting point. There is so much information in Vedic astrology. We keep learning more so that we become more solid bases. But it doesn't mean that we are at this stage you cannot analyze. It's just that you need to have all the like a volcano, not a volcano, like an iceberg, little visible, but you have to have a big depth inside. So the first step, identify the signs of each house and their ruler. And the study chart is Agatha Christie. Her first house is Leo, ruled by the sun, placed in the first house. Second house is Virgo, ruled by Mercury, placed in the second house. So basically what you're doing is that you're just looking at the chart. Now, at my stage, I look at all that very quickly. But as a starting point, you want to focus on the chart to see. So you can see she has sun in Leo, ascendant is Leo, Saturn is also in Leo, Mercury is in Virgo, moon is also in Virgo, Venus is in Libra, Rahu, Ketu exalted, Rahu is in Taurus, Ketu is in Scorpio, Mars in Sagittarius, Jupiter is debilitated. So as you look at the chart, it talks to you, and you start thinking what other things that is possibility for Agatha Christie. Now, for a celebrity chart, you can look up their bio and see what other things, but there are certain things that as you start looking at the chart, certain things shine at you. And then the Navamsha chart, you need to get familiar with that. So first you're looking at what are the houses, what are the planets ruling. And then second aspect is this, make the planetary grid. And here we see that all the planets are given here, all the planets, and are they neutral, own sign, good friend, own sign, Jupiter's debilitated RX, all the positions are there. Saturn in Leo, great enemy. So you can look at this, what are the dignities, things that are there of a planet. Then I always like to look, even now I will look, first thing in the chart is that what are the elements. In Agatha Christie's chart, she has water 1, earth 4, fire 4, and air 1. So dominance of earth and fire. Earth is practical, fire is a lot of ideas, lot of strong personality. Then the modes, she has 2 planets in cardinal, 5 in fixed, and 3 in mutable. We also put these including ascendant. So 5 planets in fixed means she's very committed to doing things. As she started writing, she continued writing for a long time. There was that continuity. People with a lot of fixed energy, they like things to be organized, fixed. What I'm looking in elements is sometimes is that you'll see people have all the planets in water element or all the planets in earth. So if something unusual is happening when I'm going through the chart, then you can study the nakshatras. In the nakshatras, I'm see here the nakshatras are there. I want to see, is there any specific pattern? What are the prominent nakshatras? She doesn't have too many planets in one nakshatra. Although her sun and moon both are in Uttara Phalguni, and sun is the nakshatra. Ignore this 2, 3, 4. These ignore for now. So we only want to look at the first aspect. And of course, Uttara Phalguni, what is the quality of Uttara Phalguni? And sun is in its own sign in her chart. So that strengthens both sun and moon. And so you can look down to see. Now, I remember my yoga teacher, I looked at her chart, and all her planets were in Rahu or Ketu nakshatra. Only one planet was out of it. So sometimes, you'll get an unusual signature of somebody. And so then you have to think with yourself, what does that mean? And I'll also ask my clients, you have this very Rahu Ketu influence, and they will explain because they will feel it. If it is in the chart, the client will feel it. Then you can also look at Pushkar, that what is anything in Pushkar Navamsha. See these 2, sun, moon in Pushkar Navamsha for her. So, so the step 2 is then checking on the planetary strands. As the planets are ruling all areas of life, their strength or weakness becomes important in working out what areas of life are strong, what are the challenges. Study the strength and weakness of each planet. Planets gain strength by being in exaltation, own sign, mul trikona, friend's house, benefics placed in good houses, trikona and kendra. Malefics in Upachaya 3, 6, 10, 11. Digbala, directional strength. Venus is best placed in 4th house. Retrograde planets are considered strong. And moon 72 degrees away from the sun. When the moon is very close to the sun, it's got no digital strength, they call it. Doesn't have strength because you can't see it. It's all hidden. So in a way, the sun is more dominant then. And planets are weak if they are placed in debilitation. Check here for Nicha Bhanga Raja Yoga, cancellation of debilitation. In enemy sign, moon within 40 degrees of sun is weak. In combustion, too close to the sun, it is combust. Youth, planetary war, if you are seeing a planetary war. Then planets may be strong but troubled if they are placed in close conjunction with a malefic planet in 6, 8, 12th houses. Agatha Christie's sun in Leo, own sign, but troubled by conjunction of Saturn. So here what you see is that if we look at Agatha Christie's chart, what you see here is that she has very strong planets because she has sun in Leo, moon in, Mercury in own sign, Virgo, exalted, Venus in Libra, Saturn in Sagittarius, Rahu, Ketu, exalted. Moon too close to the sun. So she could have been very private, hidden personality. And then you can see Jupiter is debilitated. It is retrograde, but it is also debilitated. So you see that these aspects are there as you are watching the strength of the planets. And of course, she was very famous author and continues to be famous after her death as well. And we can also look at so planet dignity table. Here you can see that Saturn is in enemy sign, but otherwise the planets are friend own sign, and Jupiter is debilitated. So there are certain aspects here that you can see, and so yeah, in Jupiter is in 6th, 8th, or 12th house. So Jupiter is in the 6th house. So one of the issues that Agatha Christie had was that her first marriage was very troubled. And if you think about her life in the early 20th century, women were very much number two to their husbands, even though she was an author and but he was bossing over her. And she was very unhappy. He had a girlfriend as well. And you can see here, the 7th house ruler, Saturn, is in the Lagna with the sun. So you can see that as an issue for her. And then you see that Jupiter, the Karaka for husband, is debilitated in the 6th house. So you are seeing some issues as you're going on. You see a lot of strength and, but you also see some issues as you're going on. So we familiarize with the as we familiarize with the chart, we are also thinking, what are the issues, what are the things. So conjunction with Rahu Ketu create challenges. Planets placed with malefic planets are under stress. So in case of Agatha Christie, she has Sun-Saturn conjunction. A planet may be strong, but will have challenges if it is badly placed or with malefic planets. So she had Jupiter in the house. So Jupiter does not do very well in the 6th house. So you see, you are, as you're seeing the chart, you're getting familiar with it. Then what is the nature of the planet? A strong planet, but if it is negative for the ascendant. So for example, for Leo Lagna, Saturn is not the best planet. So a negative planet, even if he's strong, then he is going to create some issues. And generally, a negative planet also means that you have to learn how to handle it. A strong planet, good for you. He will use, he'll behave without thinking, you'll behave in the correct way. But if the planet is strong but not the best planet for your ascendant, then you will have to learn how to deal with it. So before I move forward, any comments, questions? Anybody has anything?
Kumila ji, what
Yeah.
if we have two planets which are placed well? For example, maybe if sun is in Aries, it is exalted, and Saturn is in Libra, it is exalted. So by placement, they are good, but they are not friendly towards each other, and they are aspecting each other. So what does that mean then?
No, aspect, I'll talk about it in a minute, but that means that they can be bothering each other. You know, they're still strong, but it's like, you know, sometimes you see two strong people arguing with each other. Not always. So they're both strong in your chart. And you have to see also what dasha you are in, which one is more dominant at that period. But certainly Mars, Saturn, they bring some stress factor because Mars wants to act, Saturn doesn't, you know. So there can be a frustration if there's Mars Saturn opposition in people's chart.
Thank you.
So then we come to step 3, and this is yogas. Yogas always is the first thing astrologers look at. They look at the chart overall, just look at it, and then they look at what is the yogas, because the yogas can really support the chart. So there are difficult yogas that you want to study. Kalsarpa yoga, Kimadruma, isolated moon, these are the things you are looking at. But you're also wanting to look at, you know, the strong yogas, the good yogas. Sorry, what did I do? Yeah, so if you have good yogas, but I put that as second and third is difficult yogas, Kalsarpa yoga, Kimadruma. And then in case of Agatha Christie, she has Bhadra Mahapurusha Yoga, ruled by moon, produced by moon Mercury, because from the moon Lagna, she has Bhadra Mahapurusha Yoga. For an author to have such a strong Mercury, you know, she wrote a lot. And so to have such a strong Mercury, that was important for her. She has Sunafa, Anafa Yoga, and Shubha Vesi Yoga. But her main yoga is the Bhadra Mahapurusha Yoga. And so here we see in her chart that from the moon Lagna, she will have the Bhadra Mahapurusha Yoga. But generally, you see that she has pretty strong planets because she has, actually, I think she has a half moon yoga as well. All the planets in a, so can you see like a Ardha Chandra yoga, half moon. But you see the Lagna Lord is strong, moon, all that. So that is very important. Now I had the chart of Paul McCartney here. And Paul McCartney, he's the Beatle. And what you see is that he has a Kalsarpa yoga. All the planets are within Rahu Ketu. That means that Rahu Ketu can cause a lot of restriction. What you see here is that it's not meant that he hasn't been successful. Paul McCartney was part of one of the biggest bands of the 60s, Beatles, and he continues to be successful now. But the Kalsarpa is some inner karmic access issues, which we will discuss later as well. He doesn't have Kimadruma yoga. His moon is not isolated, but the Kalsarpa yoga is there. So that definitely would have caused difficulty for him in his life. So you see, when you look at the chart, you see Kalsarpa yoga, Kimadruma yoga, you know, any of these yogas, and you think, especially Kalsarpa, you think there's some inner kind of issues that he has to deal with. And then Kimadruma, isolated moon. So we have to look at all these aspects that are there. So step 4 is now looking at the Navamsha. Navamsha is the 9th divisional chart and the most important one. No Vedic astrology is ever looked at without studying the Navamsha chart. Now, you may not be so familiar with Navamsha. So first step is to start looking at it. What is the factors? Now, in Agatha Christie's chart, something stands out here is that Venus is with Ketu in the Navamsha. Navamsha is a chart for dharma and spouse. And Venus is Karaka for marriage. So in her Rashi chart, Venus looks very strong. It's in Libra, and she did get married. Then she got married again. But you can see here, Venus, Ketu, in the Navamsha, some secret issues in marriage. So you are seeing number of aspects that are there that created problems for her regarding her first marriage that she had. Sometimes, people next marriage, they learn from the first marriage and they can work things out. But here also, you can see Saturn, Moon opposite each other. So that also can give her some emotional issues. But she concentrated a lot of her energy in being an author. So, sometimes a person has some unhappy issues, but they can do things professionally or work-wise. And then the step 4 is other vargas. So at the foundation level, you should think only begin with analyzing Navamsha, and then you can look at the Vimshopak. Vimshopak Amsha and Shodasha Varga with Visheshika Amsha, which is Shodasha Varga with dignity. Yeah, Shubha said her Mercury is in the second house, both Rashi and Navamsha. That's very good thing that you picked up, Shubha. In her Rashi chart, Mercury rules her second and 11th house. So those are the houses of money. And of course, through her writing, she became very wealthy. And in the Navamsha, the ascendant ruler, Mercury, is gone into the second house. And then if you look at her 11th house, she has Jupiter and Mars in its own sign. So not even that during her lifetime, but after her death also, her films, TV, books have been kept continuous. I don't know, there is some aspect that people just love her stuff, and it just keeps on being produced and liked. So then the step 4 is studying the other varga. So what I'm saying is that you only really need to see Vimshopak and Visheshikamsha. This will give you an overview about the strength in depth of the planets and should be done for all planets. So here we have the Vimshopak for Agatha Christie. And what you see here is we are looking at the last line here. You can look at more detail, but here what you see is that all the planets are strong except for Jupiter. So we've already seen Jupiter's in the 6th house. He is debilitated, and here in the Vimshopak, he's not very strong. Her strongest planet is Mars, and Mars is her Raja Yoga Karaka planet. Raja Yoga Karaka planet means it's the lord of the 4th house and the 9th house. A very powerful planet. So luck is strong for her. Now, also you can see that she has sort of a signature 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times Mars has gone into Sagittarius. So she could have been also a spiritual warrior, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to. And she was very strong woman despite the times that she was living in. But this Vimshopak gives you a very clear thing that if you are talking to clients that, okay, this Jupiter is not so strong, so let's do something to improve it, to work with it, deal with the issues that Jupiter is showing up. Then Visheshika Amsha, this is like a Raja yoga in itself. And one of the things you can see is all the planets are in Visheshika. That is not true in every chart. Sometimes you'll see that people don't have all the planets in dignity. And you can see Jupiter is weakest in Vimshopak. Mars Raja Yoga Karaka is very strong with Naga Pushpa Visheshika. Sun Lagna Lord is strong with Kusuma Visheshika. Mercury Moon both have good Vimshopak requirement for an author. But to see, even Jupiter, which doesn't get so much numbers, it still gets Visheshika. That means it is still got some power there and quality. So this is really important because Visheshika, the software will do it. Your phone softwares won't do it. You do need to have a proper software that will do the Visheshika Amshas. Then step 5 is studying the nakshatras. Nakshatras exercise a profound influence on the planets by understanding not only your sign positions, but also nakshatras of each of the planets. You are being given a deeper insight into spiritual aspects as well as working of the mind. So you see, you can study each nakshatra like she has Mercury in Hasta. Hasta's symbol is the hand. And so you could have asked her, do you do things by hand? Another factor you can see here, her ascendant is in Magha. Magha is ruled by Ketu. And Ketu is exalted in her chart. Then Sun, Moon are in Sun's nakshatra. Both of them are in Pushkara as well. So you see Uttara Phalguni. What does Uttara Phalguni stand for? So, you know, obviously Moon is the most important, but you can look at all the nakshatras. Then the lord of the nakshatra. Nakshatra ruler acts as the controller. Sometimes it enhances the energy on a soul level or detracts from it. What are the houses the nakshatra ruler rules? Its strength or weakness? Does it have another portfolio or is involved in yogas? Here what you can see is that Ketu is in Jyeshta nakshatra. Mercury is its lord. Mercury is exalted in the chart. Then Venus is in Swati. Rahu is the nakshatra lord. Rahu is in the 10th house. So it is linking, the rulers are linking the planet to another house. And they are also, if the inner planets are strong, that is also the nakshatra rulers are strong. That is also very important factor. Planets or ascendants in Gandanta. Gandanta points are between Pisces, Aries, Cancer, Leo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Pushkara positions of all planets. When I'm looking at somebody's chart, I'm first thing looking at for Gandanta positions. And here, if you look at Adele's chart, the singer, you can see she has moon in Gandanta. That is a complicated aspect. Start of her, she had her first dasha only for 6 months because the Mercury dasha changed. But moon is in Gandanta and it's the 7th house ruler. So the 7th house issues for her can be very dominant. And you can look up the things about her relationship, her marriage, her other factors. But you see that Gandanta moon, that is a difficult factor for her. But she is in this moon dasha. And right now, moon Rahu dasha. And moon is also in Jyeshta nakshatra, and ruler Mercury is in the 5th house of creativity. Moon's ruler Lord, Rashi Lord Mars is exalted. So you see, she has got a lot of strength as well, even though moon is Gandanta. You see, we have to look at what are the factors and what are the things that we can support and what we can work with. So, Myra, that's a very good song. She has written a song called Set Fire to the Rain. Her song is very Gandanta. That's right. I don't know her music actually. But, you know, Adele, she has these earrings, Saturn earrings. If you look up, and I think she has also got a tattoo of Saturn on her arm. You can put Adele and tattoo and you can see that. One of the students in at our conference, she showed the photograph, and her Saturn earrings were made by this designer in Paris, Schiaparelli. And if you look at Saturn earrings, so I looked for them. It's very interesting. She has, let's see her Saturn, the reason she got the Saturn tattoo was that she was having a Saturn return. That means she was 29 years of age. And, Saturn came back to her Saturn position and she talked about it. So you can see that the strength is there, even though moon is Gandanta, its lord is exalted and its nakshatra lord is in the 5th house. So any questions so far? Anything? Yeah,
so
Shubha.
Pramila-di, I just wanted to understand better. So in case a planet is weak in a chart, but its nakshatra lord is very strong, so that sort of like cushions the weakness, mitigates it to some extent.
And if the Rashi Lord is strong as well, suppose a planet is weak, but the ruler is
Lord
very
of that
strong.
house is strong. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Maureen?
Is it, Kumilaji, is it true that with Kalsarpa that you're sort of caught and that the karmic debt or interplay, it's going to come out through life no matter what you do, you're caught between the two, and it's going to work out how it's going to work out.
No, I think when you have a Kalsarpa, you do need to do some remedies for it, and you need to continue doing remedies for it, because it can make you get caught in a karmic situation that you don't have any control over. So, one has to think about past life debt that we have to pay, why we got the Kalsarpa in this life. So one has to do some remedies for it.
For the entire life.
Consistently, yes.
Okay.
Entire life sounds really bad, but actually it's not so bad. Once you start doing the things, then it's quite enjoyable as well. And people are with huge success with Kalsarpa as well. It's something more inner that one has to be careful about.
Okay. I just started looking for my own clients. It's so interesting. I started within the first 5 to have Kalsarpa.
It's quite common to have Kalsarpa. That's why one should also be careful not to scare people with Kalsarpa. But Shubha says 2 of her children have Kalsarpa. So, there are many remedies one can do. And I feel that the 2 best remedies are doing donation, danam, and so you can donate to good cause and donate food to the poor and the weak. And you can also do karma yoga, something selfless, give back to society. That is important. And because Kalsarpa, sometimes you'll see by transit, it's happening every year. We've had a couple of years respite. So it's not so unusual.
Is it coming again soon?
I was looking, maybe not this year, because you see, Jupiter, Saturn, they need to be opposite sides of Rahu Ketu. Then the faster moving planets can, even if they come one side, they don't spoil the balance. But if Rahu Ketu are both, so Saturn, there's a Saturn Rahu conjunction in 2025. So I think after that, there will be some Kalsarpas. So step 6 is the karmic axis. The placement of Rahu Ketu in our natal chart represents the karmic axis. What are the issues we struggle on a mental level to achieve as well as to overcome? Our fear, phobia, guilt, need for success, fear of success, past life issues which we must let go of, and the one that need to work out. Our ultimate goals towards spiritual realization. You see, when you have Kalsarpa yoga, all these things get magnified. And I had a very good friend of mine who had Kalsarpa yoga, and she kind of got stuck in her life, and Kalsarpa can make people very bitter. And that is something you have to be careful about. That you don't get bitter about things, that the poison doesn't go everywhere of Rahu Ketu. And so it is necessary that, you work with these things. Sometimes mantra practice is good. The deity of Rahu Ketu is Goddess Durga and Ganesha. So there are a number of remedies that one can do, but the karmic axis, so for example, in Agatha Christie's chart, Rahu is super strong. It's in the 10th house. So Rahu is not bothering her. She had a giant success. So it's not always that Rahu Ketu are bothering, but they are disruptive planets. So you have to know where they are and what are they doing to you. So here you see in Agatha Christie's chart, you can see Rahu is exalted, Ketu is exalted. Rahu's Lord Venus is in Libra, own sign, good. Ketu's Lord Mars is in Sagittarius, good. So her Rahu Ketu are very strong, but even then, she has Ketu will be more difficult to handle. Because Ketu is in the 4th house, it can disrupt the home, her happiness, relationship with her mother. So mostly with Rahu Ketu, one of them is more difficult. And during her time when she was alive, then people, didn't analyze these things. They would say, okay, get on with it. If you've got this, I remember my grandmother, if you'd say somebody is very unhappy because something happened, she said, what's wrong with that? That's life. Don't worry. Whereas we are much more sensitive to those things. But looking at Rahu Ketu, ideally you don't want planets placed with them. But you see that in her Navamsha, Ketu was with with Ketu was with Venus. So, in Navamsha, it was bothering her marriage. Rashi, it doesn't look like it. So for the karmic axis, you want to see what house Rahu Ketu are placed in, what's their sign placement, planets that rule them, if any planets conjoin, and Kalsarpa Yoga. So especially with Kalsarpa Yoga, I'm always very careful about talking about Kalsarpa Yoga. As a teacher, I have to teach you, but how you explain to people, even with Rahu Ketu, sometimes people give very negative reading for Rahu Ketu. And no planet, no sign is negative. It's just that some things we need to work on it, they don't come easy to us. But other things, like in case of Agatha Christie, Rahu in the 10th house, that's not what would be bothering her because it's so strong and powerful. Whereas Ketu in the 4th house, maybe she felt that. Then, after you've kind of looked at the chart and seen all the things, then you start looking at house sign, house ruler, placement of the house ruler, Navamsha position of the house ruler. So, if we look at Adele's chart, so look at her relationship aspect. You see, 7th Lord is Gandanta. And it's in the 11th house of money. But I seem to remember when Adele did her first song, it was all about broken relationship. I think her album was called 19. And so she is putting all her emotional issues regarding relationship there. Her Rahu Ketu, Rahu in the 2nd house, big voice, large voice. But Ketu in the 8th house, not so easy for her, especially on a purely materialistic lifestyle. If we look at Agatha Christie here, seventh house Lord Saturn is in the ascendant. Other ruler is Rahu, but I'll always look at Saturn first. Saturn is in an enemy sign. Karaka for marriage, Venus looks quite good in Libra, own sign, but in the Navamsha, you can see here, it is with Ketu. So you can see the additional issues here from the Navamsha, and aspects to the 7th house, Saturn and Sun both aspecting the 7th house. So Saturn's aspect always very difficult. Saturn also aspecting Venus, Karaka for marriage. You know, Saturn can break a marriage, and she did get divorced and remarried. So you can see that aspect for her. So when you're evaluating the houses, it takes time to do that, and you take one chart and do it all step by step. And in year 2, we are going to do more detailed evaluating the houses. Then aspects to the house and ruler. So I showed you that in Adele's chart also 7th house, Mars was aspecting the 7th. In case of Agatha Christie as well, Saturn, Sun aspecting the 7th. Any conjunction to the house ruler, nakshatra position, planets placed in the house, houses these planets rule. Karaka is very important. So for 7th house, we look at 2 Karakas, Venus for marriage and Jupiter for husband. But if you are a man, then Venus will be for marriage and wife. So you see, there are lots of things that you have to study with each of those houses. And there are different ways of analyzing your chart. One, you're analyzing for yourself, you know, so you can keep on analyzing everything. If you're doing for other people, or you're doing a consultation, then consultation has a time limit. So you have to learn, and through experience, you know, certain factors will come out to you. And I always like to ask my clients, what is it that you're looking for? And then accordingly, they will tell me what it is. And, you know, so I know what are the issues. And sometimes they'll say, no, you just tell me what it is. And if when I've evaluated, I can see what issue is it. And then they said, yes, that's what I wanted to ask you. So as a beginner stage, you have to spend more time in working with all these things. And then as you become more advanced also, not just studying, but also applying the knowledge. So step 7, ascendant ruler. Ascendant and its rulers, most important factors in interpretation. Ascendant rules your physical life, this incarnation. It is the planet that represents your qualities in its various hues. What is the focus of your life, your talents, restrictions, motivations? So like say in case of Agatha Christie, her Lagna Lord is very strong. Sun is strong. And but Saturn is there. So even though she was so successful, she had some Saturn restrictions in her life. But Lagna Lord was in herself. So Agatha Christie was about herself. In case of Adele, her Lagna Lord Saturn, she's Capricorn Lagna, she's placed in the 12th house. So 12th house is more complicated. You know, she's seeking something and not sure how to find it because it's in the 12th house. And she has made that into her music. So there are 7 keys in judging the ascendant ruler. Firstly, the ascendant decides which planets will work for you or not. We studied this in lesson 14. Where your ascendant ruler is placed shows the focus of your life direction. Ascendant ruler, strength, weakness, because you know he's like your driver of your life. So if you have a strong ascendant ruler, then you are able to manage it. If it is weak or not well placed, then you have to learn how to manage it. It's not that you can't manage it, but you have to learn how to deal with it. It does not come naturally to you. Subtle energies of your ascendant nakshatra, position in the Navamsha. What are you doing to strengthen your lagna? I would say this is the most important factor, because you have your ascendant ruler, but are you doing something? Are you supporting yourself? Then Sudarshan Chakra, Sun, Moon, and Lagna chart. And here we have 3 charts that we are looking at. In Agatha Christie's chart, she has Sun and as Lagna are the same. She has Sun in Leo and the Lagna. So the only other point of view would be from her moon chart. And from the moon, you can see Mercury becomes very dominant, and the Lord is in a Bhadra Mahapurusha Yoga. So you see her Lagna and Sun is in its own sign from moon. And then from the moon, again, she has Venus in the 2nd house of wealth. Jupiter goes to the 5th house from the moon, and Jupiter is aspecting the moon. Even though he's not as most strong, his aspect is always welcome. It's also aspecting the moon Lagna. And Adele, you see, here we see moon Lagna, the Lord Mars is exalted. Scorpio, the co-lord Ketu is 10th from the moon. So you see great desire for success, but Lagna Lord exalted means, Moon Lord exalted means she wants to make things happen in her own way. You know, she wants to be motivated, ambitious. And then her Sun as the Lagna. She has exalted Sun, and Sun's Lord is also exalted, Capricorn, 10th house. So she also has a spectacular career, very successful. And Sun rules the 5th from itself, so creativity, ideas. You see, there's so much information when you're looking at the chart. If you look at Adele's chart and you just looked at her chart from her Lagna, you'd say, oh, Lagna Lord is in the 12th house. She may not achieve anything. But look at the moon chart, look at the sun chart. You get a different quality there. So then we go to the key timings of life. What are the main patterns? How will the chart express itself, and when? Dasha Bhuktis should be studied, the 1st and 2nd level. Now, one of the things with the chart of Agatha Christie is at the age of 17, she started Rahu Dasha. She has a very powerful Rahu. And if Rahu is powerful, he can just take you anywhere you want to go. And then here, I've got it here in Rahu Venus Dasha. She started writing about Poirot. Poirot is the detective, Belgian detective, foreign person for a British lady. And that was hugely successful. She has 2 detectives. One is Miss Marple and the other is Poirot. And you see the Rahu Dasha coming at the appropriate time. She became super successful. And then at the start of Jupiter Dasha, which is weak for her, she suddenly disappeared. And it's a very famous disappearance. And up to now, people have not been able to find out where she disappeared to. They feel she went to Harrogate, because by that time, her marriage was very unhappy. Her husband was having an affair. She, Mars, Mars, end of Rahu, beginning of Jupiter. Jupiter is her weakest planet. So she may have felt helpless during that time. So, you can see that super strong Rahu. Then Saturn also, I mean, she had such a strong chart. She kept on writing and working with things. Also around this time, during her Jupiter Dasha, also the Second World War took place. So being in Britain, that would have also affected her. So, and then the final aspect is Gochara, the transits, how the transits are modifying the dashas. You want to see key transits: Saturn, Sadesati, Ashtama Shani, Jupiter, Rahu Ketu, Moon and others, Lagna Lord transits. So you see, with the transits, you have to make a now chart or a now transit chart. So here in the software, Sri Jyoti star here on the right hand side, you'll see you can show now transit. You can also show locations. I have endless locations all over the world because that's where my clients come from. So I make the location for them. So, I don't need that. But you can, if you're just, even in your own country, you want a now chart for different cities, you should be making a now chart. That means that anytime you go to the now chart, it brings you the latest chart. And this is the latest chart right now. We can see Moon is in Leo. Venus is debilitated, about going towards Ketu. And Saturn in his Aquarius, it's gone direct. And Mercury has just gone into Scorpio. So that is something that you can see with all these different aspects. So how does it impact Adele? Adele is Capricorn Lagna. Saturn is strong in her chart, Aquarius, second house. She's not in Saresati. So Saturn has gone direct. So direct means she may be ready to do things. Retrograde sometimes is stopping you. But she doesn't have Saresati just now. So that is not a issue for her. Her dasha, I already told you, Moon dasha. But what is very interesting is Paul McCartney's dasha. He's in Jupiter Mercury dasha. And what you see here is that Jupiter is in the 10th house. Mercury rules the 10th house. Jupiter is combust. But right now, just yesterday, there was news that the Beatles are releasing a new song where the AI, artificial intelligence, has remastered John Lennon's voice. And it is coming out. I didn't read it seriously because I didn't think I was going to look at Paul McCartney's chart. But here you see Jupiter's in the 10th house. He's in Jupiter Mercury Dasha. Mercury rules the 10th house. Now, Mercury right now by transit has gone into Scorpio. And Mercury's transit is very erratic. So you have to watch that all the time. The main issue Paul McCartney is dealing with, and I have no idea but what you can see here is that he's Cancer Lagna and Saturn is transiting Aquarius, which is his 8th house. So whenever all of you, Cancer Ascendant or Cancer Moon, 8th house is an unsettled transit, Ashtama Shani. It can also have health implications. And in Paul McCartney's chart, he's 79 years old, maybe going to 80. Yeah, he's 80 now. So definitely he needs to watch his health during this transit. So, you know, when you're looking at the chart, I never diagnose somebody's health. I will just say people, especially older people, when they come to me, they're always asking health. So I will say, have you got a problem? And otherwise I'll say, you know, Saturn is not making the best transit for you. So if you have any issues, then you should check it out. So that's all, because I'm not a doctor, so I'm not able to give a diagnosis. Neither am I Ayurvedic doctor. If you have those qualities, then you are starting with a plus point. So that is an important factor. So that is it for today. We have let me finish that, then I'll talk to you. So there is an assignment for you to do. So this is the secret chart. I'm actually going to put the chart up in Google Drive as well. But here's a secret chart. This is a man's chart. And this is the Rashi and Navamsha. And this is the Dasha. He's no longer with us, but you can see his Dashas, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter. And so each of the questions answer should be 100 words only. So make short questions. His personality, focus of life. What are the strengths of the chart or the weaknesses? What about relationships? What career do you think I should have? This is the chart asking you the question. What happened around 1965, between 1970 to 1975? Are there any children? What advice would you give to deal with the issues? So there are 7 questions. So overall 700 words, 100 words per answer. And so the deadline is Friday, 25th November, midnight. And please send the assignments to Keiko at info@keikoshanti.com. And now I'm open to any questions you have, comments, anything. Yes, Maureen.
Okay, well, thank you, Camilla G. Thank you so much, Camilla G. It has
Thank
just
you.
been, I have tears behind my eyes.
Oh, it's
You
lovely.
are
Thank you.
truly a blessing.
Thank you.
And I look forward to next year.
That is wonderful. So do I.
So I do have me coming in about 18, maybe 14 more months, and then I'm done with my Ketu Dasha. And then lo and behold, Venus Dasha, which I hear is beautiful, could be beautiful. But there is that whip of the tail, the whip of the tail where what Ketu brought will take at the end of that Dasha.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that and wanted to ask, and others might be interested in this, if you know that something then therefore in some form is going to be inevitable.
I
that
don't
is
think
the case.
anything is inevitable, but sometimes I've noticed at the end of Ketu Dasha, people become very adamant to make a particular change and they don't listen to other people. So maybe as you are aware, if some issue comes, then maybe you have to think about it. When people come at the end of Ketu Dasha to me, I usually say, that wait to Venus to come before making any decision. Don't make a decision in end of your Ketu Dasha, because you may regret it later on, because then the tail is wagging and Ketu is saying, come on, you have to do it now. But
Let's
if you...
go. Yes, and you've said that before. But I was thinking today while I was studying, maybe one should make a sacrifice. Because if something is going to leave, we don't know what it will be. It might not be what you thought, but something is going to happen.
It is never what you thought. You can make a donation, do
Making
something.
making a sacrifice in that way to propitiate whatever that is. Do people do that? Or is it just giving like dana?
That is a sacrifice, giving dana or doing Ganesha mantra. There's a lot of things you could say, I'm going to give back something to society. So you can think about that. See, the main thing is this, that if the karma is very fixed of what Ketu has to do, then there's an inevitability of it. But if the karma is not so fixed, then it may not be inevitable that Ketu is going to bring that issue if you become aware of it. So, and that point is very difficult to judge. Anybody else? Any questions?
Umilaji, it's not a question, but just an observation. So recently, just Ketu moved away from my Lagna. It was in Libra for the past 1.5 years. And that time I didn't feel so much, but almost on the day that it moved away, it's almost like a veil being lifted. I'm feeling more confident. I don't know why I'm feeling more enthusiastic. And I realized that I was very much clouded. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you that.
Yeah, no, Ketu transit can give like a clouded judgment, or some issue comes up. And as you said, you didn't realize you were quite okay, but you didn't realize that a cloud was there. So
I realized when it was lifted, like
Yeah.
it was almost overnight, the change I felt in me.
Yeah, same here. I also had Ketu over my moon. So I was very happy when it changed. Thank you. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay, thank you very much. It has been a real pleasure to have you all in the class. And I hope to see you next year. Otherwise, I hope to see you sometime. And namaste. Thank you. Thanks. Take a group photo. Yeah. Hi, Satya. Who's taking the photo? Okay. Okay, I took one picture. Okay, bye-bye.